we talked about it last week, said that for Monday Night Football against the Raiders that the Falcons should have already moved to Penix Jr., but now they are officially naming Michael Penix Jr. the starter for the Falcons. How do you think that's gonna go? What's the plan there?
I think it's lights out, honestly. And I honestly like thought a lot about it. And I'm in tune with literally every piece of content that the Falcons put out. Their think pieces from some of the people that I interviewed with when I was trying to get a job there, and or at least exchange emails with when I was trying to get a job there, and as well as Raheem Morris before the Raider game. And they were trying to give a veteran the benefit of the doubt, one, and they didn't want to look like they were wrong as well. And I don't think that they were wrong in signing Kirk Cousins. I really don't. I think that bringing in a veteran, allowing him to have a mentorship with Michael Penix, I think was a great move. I really do. I don't agree with the amount of money. I mean, that's hats off to Kirk Cousins' agent. That man should be in the Hall of Fame for the amount of money he's gotten him. It's damn near 400 million.
Jerry Maguire status.
But
almost all guaranteed.
Almost all guaranteed too. But I don't think it was a bad move to bring in Cousins. I think the only head scratcher of it is because he was coming off of an injury. But at that point, they're just like, he will have plenty of time to recover. We've seen plenty of people that do more with that injury. I mean, we've had running backs come back after Achilles injuries. And so I think that they kind of were just like, yeah, I think he can come back, especially because he's not a mobile quarterback. They weren't trying to make him a mobile guy. They weren't signing him to be that kind of guy. Zach Robinson wants a pocket passer. That's what he wanted. It's just the fact that you have to equate for there to be breakdowns in your offensive line. And when he's a statue back there and you have those breakdowns, it makes you look even worse. So I don't think that it was necessarily bad for them. I do agree with what Rafa said before, that it should have been time. It may be a game too late. The Raiders game probably should have been the time where they've started Michael Penix. But I think they're also like, listen, if our veteran can't turn this shit around against a 2-11 team, we're going to have no choice. We're going to give you a little bit more slack in the rope. And if you do nothing with it, we're going to have to make the decision and move on from it. And I think that's what they did. It was a last chance for Kirk Cousins. And I love the move, even though I do think it is a game too late. I understand why it's coming a game too late. They wanted to see if he was able to get his confidence back against a team that didn't even have their big dog. And they gave up like 4 or 5 sacks. So just a horrible game all around. It was painful to watch. It shouldn't have come down to a Hail Mary whatsoever, but they played soft-ass defense late in the game, which is what we've seen the Falcons do no matter who their defensive coordinator is over the last couple of years. So I love the move. I can't wait to see what Michael Penix brings. I think he's a lot more mobile. That arm is obviously way more live. He's the best deep ball thrower in the draft. And that move to draft him doesn't look like such a dumbass move anymore.
It's Ryan, it's hard for me, and you kind of said it. It's hard for me to pat them on the back and say, great job getting Penix. At the same time, you gave Kirk Cousins $100 million. Especially when you fucked my team. Penix.
It's always Penix, about the Raiders.
It is always about the Raiders.
About the Raiders.
Listen, Penix was second in Heisman. I thought he was the best thrower of the football in the draft. Yep. And I think he's going to do great things. I think he's going to be incredible. I don't think now this is a tough game. They have the Giants this week, do they not? This is a trap game. And DeVito is not going to be quarterback. What's
is
his
it Drew
name
Lock?
from Drew Lock is starting, who has a shit ton to prove. This is, especially after what we saw last week, this is going to be a tough game and would put, this would put all that shit talk to rest about who's going where and Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders. This is, to me, is going to be a very difficult game because Drew Lock has a shit ton tied up in bonuses. He remember, he took a team-friendly deal with a bunch of incentives. Drew Lock was actually highly sought after, and had other deals for more money, but they gave him a bunch of incentives. And Drew Lock is like, I've seen Daniel Jones play. I'm going to get in this bitch. I'm
Who's
going to
he
have a
gonna throw
chance.
to, though?
Malik Neighbors.
No, he's getting locked down by
Not
AJ
playing.
Terrell.
And
Even if he
didn't
was,
play a half.
even if
AJ
he
Terrell
was,
has not been that good this year.
stop it. How many
Yeah.
catches? How many catches did Justin Jefferson have when AJ Terrell was on him during the Vikings game?
Hold on.
Was it 3 or 4?
It was.
Thousand.
I believe it was 1 or 2, and he did not light up anything. AJ Terrell's been shutting down number 1 wide receivers this year. He didn't have a great start, but as of late, nobody's challenging him. It's the same argument that AJ Terrell's not having a good season at corner. It's the same argument that these haters of Travis Hunter are out here saying, "Oh, look at how many pass deflections have." No, the reason he doesn't have all these PBUs is because nobody's testing him. You can't have stats if nobody's testing you.
I don't know.
That's
He's
just how it works.
33rd in
Like,
receptions allowed.
Trent McDuffie, all pro, St. John Bosco. He's maybe the best quarterback in the league right now. He's never had an interception in the freaking NFL. So I
Yeah,
agree
he just
with
had
you
one
there.
last week, actually. He
AJ
just had one
Terrell's
last
shut
week,
down.
actually.
Malik Neighbors.
Listen, they paid him all that. They paid him all that money, and he had to pony up at some point. He didn't look good to start the season, and then they were like, "Listen, you gotta really start doing your job." And he has been shutting people down. And he's a corner that is not afraid to hit guys. He comes up and puts it on guys as well. And we saw that last week. He laid a good hit when he wasn't getting a lot of attention in there either. So he's not going to have anybody to really throw. He's going to have to rely on some other guys. And I'm hoping that the defense, the secondary, isn't playing soft ass defense. That's like the number one thing for me, because AJ Terrell, he handles his on his side. It's the other side. We're going to need them high class safeties to do their job. You realize no one really throws the ball in the middle of the field against the Falcons. It rarely happens. The only team that really did it were the Chargers.
Is this game in New Jersey or is it in
No, this
Atlanta?
game's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta,
in
but
Atlanta.
Okay.
I have it on the script. We'll get
So-
to it a little.
All
So
right,
bit.
we'll
there
get to
won't
that.
be there won't be airplanes flying signs over fucking Giant Stadium. Okay.
No, and there won't be any drones either.
Well,
No,
that's
no,
Yeah.
no Chinese drones hanging
drones.
around either.
No drones.